Welcome back to another episode of Front Row Cinema, a movie podcast for movie lovers by movie lovers. I am your host, Teacher Trimboli, and with me, as always, my co-host, all the way from the famed Shangri-La. We got Mr. James O'Reilly in the house tonight.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't call me Dex.
No, no Dex, no
There's
Dex.
like an astonishing amount of good boy Dex in this movie. Like there was at least four of those, I feel like.
I went with Shangri-La because I know how much you enjoy taking pictures of fantastical places. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
suppose.
I know you were out there on your expedition, so I wanted to give due diligence to it. And each week we take a
I'm
look at a different.
famous for taking pictures, yeah.
You are. You are. There's one thing I've known about you all my life. Famous for taking an untold amount of pictures I have of you. Each week we take a look at a different movie from our childhood and we see how well it's aged, along with the hype surrounding the film, its box office analysis, and legacy in the film industry. So if you enjoy this kind of content, hit that sub button on YouTube, leave that 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's how you help the channel grow. Jim, what are we watching tonight?
Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow.
That's right. The 2004 action adventure film, written and directed by Kerry Conran and starring Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law, and Angelina Jolie. Now, of course, Jim, you always love to see it week over week, and I got it for you. We got the Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow DVD. I might
Oh,
be the only person on planet Earth that has it.
yeah, when did you buy that?
I got this back in 2004 or probably early 2005, probably is when
Oh,
they released it.
okay.
Yeah, got it back in the day because you had to have it.
Did you? Did
It's
you
like
have to have it though?
Jim, Jack Matthews of Daily News says it's like nothing you've ever seen in a movie. Like, how can you not own it when they with quotes like that?
Yeah, but that's like that feels like one of those quotes where it's like it's very vague. It's not necessarily positive or negative, and so like they just like it could be like this movie was absolute dog shit. It's like nothing you've ever seen in a movie, and they're like, let's just put a
But
dot 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 in front of that last part, and then we'll call it a day.
my favorite thing about this is normally like it has a sentence and at the end is the dot 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 that lets you know it continues. But before the beginning of the sentence, like nothing, it has a dot dot dot. So there's
Right,
stuff before
exactly.
this that they're not bringing into it either. But it's all right because they told us right there on the front cover, Jim, a great tagline: "The world will tremble." And tremble we did with this wonderful logline. And it reads: when mysterious giant robots begin attacking the streets of New York City, intrepid reporter Polly Perkins is on the story and enlists the aid of ace aviator and old flame Joseph Sky Captain Sullivan. Their mission is to find out who's behind these killing machines and stop a plot to destroy the world before it's too late. I didn't realize until just now reading it that Gwyneth Paltrow's name was alliteration. I didn't even pick it up while watching.
Oh yeah, what was her last name? It was
Good old
Polly something, right?
Polly Perkins.
Oh, Polly Perkins, of course.
Polly Perkins on the case. Now, Jim, we did see this bad boy in theaters. Do you remember? Do you remember this adventure?
Vaguely. The only thing I remember about it from before watching it this time was the scene when he like goes underwater, like he turns into like the submarine and
Submarine. Oh yeah, and then he goes underway. That whole yeah. I don't remember anything about this movie other than we saw it and that the three of them were in it. Like this was like the first time in a long time that I was putting on a movie, and I was like, I cannot recall a single scene, a single line of dialogue, anything about this movie.
I just like the reason I remember the submarine part is because I remember even back then being like, for a guy called Sky Captain, he's sure fighting a lot underwater. Like, it's like I don't understand. Like, he's supposed to be like a Sky Captain, Like,
And he's a jack of all trades, all right?
yeah, I suppose.
He's like, Sky Captain was actually my father. I'm actually Underwater Boy.
God damn it.
We got him. We got him, people. I know when Jim gives me a goddamn it, I know I struck gold.
No, it was not gold, I promise you.
It was gold. There was a nugget there. Yeah, now Jim, we saw this movie, Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. Friday, September 17th, opening day. We saw the 2 p.m. show. Did we skip school? You muted.
I don't know if we skipped school. Is it some kind of like Jewish holiday maybe with September
Yeah,
17th?
yeah, we had to have the day off, right?
Oh, we must have.
We must have. There's no, we skipped school to go catch the 2 p.m. showing of Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. Yeah, we were pretty badass people.
Yeah, you're right. Golly, that would be so bad.
Yeah, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but we used to skip school to go catch 2 p.m. Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. It was kind of a big deal.
High school me had his priorities all out of whack if that's what happened. Like, to go see Sky Captain.
School day, September 17th, 2004. Let's see. It was Constitution Day.
That doesn't sound real. I
The
don't think
day
that's.
the day commemorates the signing of the US Constitution on September 17th, 1787. There's no fucking way we got off school for that.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean,
Like,
I know I'm not the best with holidays, but like, let's be real. Like, we didn't ever get off school for Constitution Day, right?
yeah, that seems like absurd. That's absolutely hilarious. Let's see if maybe this gives us and I said schools were likely open September 17th. Man, what were we? Man, we were wow. Wow. Bad eggs. Bad eggs over here. We're just leaking it to the public that we were just up to no good September 17th.
No,
On Constitution
no.
Day, no less, Jim.
Bear with me for a second, because this is Google Gemini saying this. But on September 17th, 2004, the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah was celebrated.
Oh, okay. So it was Rosh Hashanah that day.
We
What
would have
like
gotten off at school for Rosh Hashanah,
we would
yeah.
have gotten off school for Rosh Hashanah. And it is absurd that Google would not designate that information. It would just immediately go to Constitution Day instead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, man. I'm pretty sure like there was only a few school districts getting off for Rosh Hashanah back in the day. Like, I don't think they worried about that in like the Bible Belt. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's very true. But I think we were top of the charts back then. Just like maybe,
yeah.
hopefully, this movie was top of the charts, Jim. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's dive into some box office numbers.
Numbers, dates, numbers, numbers, dates, hooray. Dates, numbers. Show me the money.
You like that segue, didn't you?
All right, I'm not gonna leave too much suspense here because it was not. I mean, I guess depending on what charts you're talking about, maybe, but um,
Constitutional charts.
Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow opens, like you said, the weekend of September 17th
It hurt
through
you that?
September 19th.
Do you think it hurt you back then that we didn't go see Wimbledon or Mr. 3000, that we chose Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow?
I mean, I think I probably would have been pretty mad at the time. Yeah, like I don't really remember, but it seems like how I would have felt about it. Like, I don't think I've changed that much. Like my raw emotions probably would be very similar. But yeah, it's gonna open that weekend of September 17th through the 19th to a $70 million budget.
That's pretty high.
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean
see it.
it's
I mean,
not.
this whole movie, the way it's filmed, like that makes sense.
Yeah,
Not only
it's not
that,
the
like
highest we've seen. And I
no,
mean
it's not
like
the
it's
highest, but
it's probably worth diving into this now. This is like one of the first movies. I think it's like this, Sin City, and then like one other movie. But this is like one of the first movies to be filmed like entirely.
fully like fully CG and like on like a green
Right,
screen.
right, exactly. Like there's nothing practical going on in it at all, right? It's just them filming in front of like a green screen. Yeah.
So yeah, so
Um,
that's gonna add up the budget. And I got to imagine like those three actors are costing you a decent amount, like in 2004. Like Angelina Jolie is probably costing you a decent amount in
yeah,
2004.
I would think so in 2004. Yeah,
Yeah, she
because like
hasn't had the Alexander bomb yet, so
she's probably the biggest star in this too, right? I mean, she's in it for a very limited
yeah, I was
role.
gonna say define in this.
Yeah, I mean, she's on the poster, baby. That counts.
Jim, this movie went on for so long that I forgot she was in this movie by the time she showed up.
Yeah, I mean, she's in it for like, I think she has like less than 5 minutes of screen time, honestly. I don't
Yeah,
think she
probably.
really,
If you were to tally it all up, like I would imagine, like it's pretty close to that.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, so that's $70 million budget, right? Opening the weekend of September 17th through the 19th. It is gonna open number one with 50,
Oh
yeah, $15.6 million.
God, what an awful like it's so horrific when you see like number one opening weekend movies and it's like they pulled in 15.5. It's like, dear God, man.
Yeah, and like, we've been talking a lot about what a wasteland September is, and like I said a few minutes ago that like $70 million isn't the highest budget we've seen. Like we've definitely seen higher ones. But if you spent $70 million making your movie in 2004 and you ended up releasing it on September 17th, you already know that a lot went wrong. You know what I mean? Like before you're putting it in theaters. Like you know that. Like if you're moving that date to September, right?
Like you're
Um,
looking to just dump it at this point.
yeah, you're just like, hey, maybe if we put this out when like there's literally nothing else worth seeing out, like it could make some money, maybe. I don't know. Like I'm definitely not gonna put it up against Spider-Man 2 or like it's
Right?
just
Like
it's
we're not dropping this in the summer. Even though
right.
like this movie is like designed like it's a summer movie. Like
Is it though?
yeah, it's
Is
like a
it?
big action adventure ripped right out of like a comic strip.
Yeah, I suppose. I feel like it's not so heavy on either the action or the adventure after like the first like half hour. I think it gets like very pedestrian in that department like very quick, honestly. And like that's probably something we'll dive into a bit more later. But for now, let's stick with the box office, right? So like we said, it opened number one, $15.6 million opening weekend, which
That is
not great against that $70 million budget. Not great
that's
at all.
horrible. On our list, we're coming in towards the bottom of the barrel. We're going to sit in the number 72 spot in between Holes's 16.3 and King Arthur's 15.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, not great, right?
Not
And
where
I
you want to be
mean,
hanging when you've sunk 70 million plus whatever on marketing.
right. And it's beating out the other openings of the like, and we've already done episodes for these. Like, Mr. 3000's in second with like a little bit under 9 million.
Which I
Wimbledon's
mean,
down in fourth with 7 million.
you gotta
But
hope you're
like those
beating those
movies cost a lot
numbers.
less to make.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like
Like
a lot less.
you probably could have made like 50 Wimbledons for the amount you spent on
Right.
this movie.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, not a great start. And like, I'm not necessarily impressed by opening number one on September 17th, right?
No, not
Uh
at all.
going in going into weekend two, it's gonna have a 57.3% drop.
That's uh that's a drop, all right.
Staggering.
Yeah,
Like when you
that's
start at 15, the drop over almost 60%, not good, right?
yeah, no,
So that
that's gonna be a certified
57.3%
bomb.
drop down to 6.7 million in weekend two,
Yeah, that's
for
just
second place.
that's horrific.
Weekend three, it's gonna drop another 50.8%
Oh my God.
down to 3.3 million. And like, here's the thing about September. It's still in fourth place, right? Like it's gonna sound a lot better on your list of like how many weeks did it stay in the top 10? But it's literally in fourth place with $3 million. If this movie came out in July, it would already be in like 15th. You know what I mean? Like,
Like it's just like it's lucky that there's nothing else coming out right now that's doing anything. So it's able to just kind of like sit around. But yeah, like those like week over week to have such a low opening and have such high week to week drops is like your movie not only is like it is having no cultural footprint. Like everyone is actively telling you we don't want this.
right. And it's like not at this point feels like it doesn't even have a good chance to make its budget back, right?
Yeah, no, there's no way this makes this budget back. Like unless like somehow the international market comes to save it, but I just don't see that being the case for like a movie like this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see on the international front here in a minute, but like, for now, going into weekend four, right? It's gonna pull in 3 million, down in seventh place. But through 4 weeks, its total domestic gross is only $33.9 million.
Horrible. So bad.
It's like not even made back half of its budget in 4 weeks in the theaters.
It's horrible. This is a really bad fall for Angelina Jolie because there's this movie, and then I think it's only like 2 months later that Alexander comes out.
Yeah, it's pretty
Really,
crazy.
really tough fall for and I mean fall the season, not like fall from grace.
Oh, it took me a second. I didn't get that until you just said it, honestly. I was like, yeah, this is a huge fall for her, like from the
No,
heights, you know?
yeah, no. She comes back, man. We got Wanted later on.
Weekend four, by the way, notably Indigenous Peoples Day. Even the 4 day Indigenous Peoples Day weekend could not save it. It pulled in only a paltry $320,000 on Indigenous Peoples Day.
Oh my God. Even Christopher Columbus was like, this thing sucks.
Christopher Columbus is like, I wish I could undiscover America so they never make Sky Captain in the world of tomorrow. Like, um, going into weekend five, it's gonna still be in the top 10 somehow, right? Like again,
Yeah,
like
like
God bless September and October, because Jesus, it's like insane.
piece of crap
It's
can
gonna
really fly around these parts.
yeah, it's gonna be in 10th place with $1.2 million, right, for
You're a
weekend
shot
five.
it gets six, right? Like let's just pack it.
No, and then finally in weekend six, it's down in 16th place with $578,000.
It is absurd. I'm honestly amazed that it made it to 5 weeks. But like you said, like it just goes to show how barren September and October can be when it comes to like big movies and people going to the theater.
Yeah,
So
I need to say this. If you're gonna keep tracking the weeks in the top 10, you need to have different categories. Like, you need to have, like, movies that came out from June to August that are, like, weeks in the top 10. Because it's like, you can't put this on the same list. I mean, like, what are some other 5 week movies?
there are 5 week movies here, Jim. We actually 5 weeks is like a big average for movies to do. So there's a lot of movies in here, but there's also a lot of movies that I think fit the mold with this movie that of like middling and like why is this here? Because you got your big tentpole movies like X-Men is in here, A Knight's Tale, Old School, Too Fast, Too Furious. But then you got some crap in here also, like Planet of the Apes, Kangaroo Jack, Van Helsing. So there a Resident Evil Apocalypse. So, like there's a lot of each to go around.
I mean, yeah, but even a movie like Van Helsing definitely made a lot more money in its 5 weeks in the top 10 than this movie
I
did,
mean,
right?
Van
Like,
Helsing's
it's
opening
not even
weekend.
close.
Van Helsing's opening weekend was like one of the biggest of all time. Like I think when it came out, it was up.
Right.
It was pretty high.
I,
Like it was top 25. It opened to $51 million.
right. And so Van Helsing's opening weekend then outgrosses the entire domestic total of Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow, which was only $37.8 million.
And it's flop.
Right.
This is a
So,
certified
like,
flop here. We
like
haven't
you
seen one
can
of these bad boys in a while.
You can say Van Helsing is crap, but in terms of like financial success, like they do not belong on the same list. You know what I mean? Like they just don't. Like,
Yeah, it is insane. I almost shudder to hear some totals.
yeah. So like I said, that domestic total was 37.8. International not coming to save the day these days. It's gonna be 20.2 million for a worldwide total. I mean, this is basically just a little bit under $58 million worldwide.
So, oof, oh my lord, not good. They sit in the 78 spot towards the bottom of the barrel. Just actually not even just a wide shot outside of Holz's 71.4, but just ahead of Cellular's 57.7. So there's your company, Sky Captain.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
Yeah. Well, I think a big thing, obviously, like what's going to hurt it the most, obviously, is if you can't get butts in the seats, it's going to hurt you. And it showed here because the audience score for this particularly, like the audience did not care for this movie because critically it's fresh. It did 71% from the critics. So like the critics didn't mind this movie. But the
Honestly, can we call an
audience,
audible for a second?
yeah,
Like,
let's hear it.
I am dying to hear one of those fresh reviews from a critic on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm
All right.
dying to.
All right, let's cue it up and see if we can't find a good one here. Go to the old Rotten Tomatoes, find some Sky Captain. What a movie already, right out the gate. So we got 206 reviews. Or we got top critic Nell Minow.
What outlet does Nell Manow work for? I'm just curious.
Oh no, this is a crap one. We're not. Her outlet is Common Sense Media. She's the one that does like the is this okay for like parents, what parents need to know for the if they're gonna show it to their kids, like
Yeah, no, don't care about that.
oh my God. Lots she writes lots for both kids and adults to enjoy. All right, fuck you.
Press X to doubt.
Yeah, doubt. All right, we got J.R. Jones from the Chicago Reader, also listed as a top critic. This debut feature by Kerry Conran is a triumph not only for its technical mastery, but for its good taste.
What was
That's
that
what
guy's name?
the critic J.R. Jones.
Who knew the Chicago Reader could be so easily bought?
Yeah. Also, this review. Oh yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter when they do them. I would assume like some of these would have been from like opening weekend, but this J.R. Jones's review is from 2007.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, we are doing a podcast about it in 2025. So I don't know if we can really judge too hard.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I will
Still
judge, like,
2004 to me, damn it.
the Chicago Reader was bought and paid for, sir. Like, where are your scruples? Like, that review was so vague.
Yeah. I mean, I can bury the lead for you here at the end, Jim, and tell you what our boy had to say about it.
No, let's save Ebert. I don't want to have my hopes dashed just yet.
Okay, all right. Entertainment Weekly gave it an A minus.
Oh,
The
who knew
investment,
Entertainment Weekly could be so easily bought?
the investment is optimistic and wise.
Was
Fucking way to
it?
write.
Was it? They lost money like this was like the fucking Titanic of losing money. Like, what are we talking about?
This is
And the
like
Titanic, the ship, by the way, not the movie, obviously.
a huge bomb. Like the
Yeah,
investment's good, baby.
it didn't even break $40 million domestic. Like, how on earth could that possibly be what they said about it?
And also, they got money. They got stake in Enron and Maddow. It's just great investment firm
Yeah,
right here from Entertainment Weekly.
right, right. They were like, not since Enron has there been a more stable financial thing. Like,
Oh
so
man,
stupid.
amazing, immaculate. Yeah, 6.1 from IMDb, and a death sentence, Jim. E minus cinema score.
At least the cinema score has some sense.
Cinema score never lies, Jim.
Well, I don't know. Let's not go that far, but
If they're,
yeah, it's definitely on the money this time.
and then I got one user review from each again. I gotta say, I'm a little put out by these 2004 movies not having absolutely unhinged reviews. We were eating good for so long with unhinged person after unhinged person, and they just haven't been showing up lately for some of these movies we've been doing.
Yeah, I want. It's very interesting. Yeah.
But so I managed to pick out one or two from either side that hopefully can get us somewhat to the finish line here. And so I got our only 1 star review here, and they write, "So you need me to say something about Sky Captain? I got one word for you: retarded." It's
Needs a strong word, but okay. It's like, nobody really said they needed you to say anything, man. You are writing this totally of your own accord.
I think he just wanted an excuse to write retarded. He continues.
This is another one of those like examples, like before you keep going, of like, just write your review, man. Why are you talking to some fucking fictional person in your fucking review? Like, nobody needed you to write this. Who are you talking to?
He's
Like,
like,
just
I needed
write
to
what you
write it.
want to write about the movie.
He's like, I need to editorialize.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, I didn't see you there. What's that? You want to know about Sky Captain? Like, dude, just shut the fuck up.
It's a dude just padding out his word count.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to get to this amount of words. I only have three. Fuck. All I want to write is retarded. I need more words. He continues. It's like somebody threw a bunch of comic books into a blender, pulled them out piece by piece, and said, I wonder if I can make a movie out of this. Never mind making sense. Just connect the parts in a more or less coherent way would be a notable task. And if we can sucker some half decent actors into it, this movie can actually make some money because teenagers will be pissing steam from all the pretty faces and any kind of futuristic story. The person who suggested this movie to me tried to fall asleep in the middle of it in an attempt to avoid the torture. So I woke him up and made him watch the rest of it as punishment. Wasn't letting that retard get out of this.
All
Jesus,
right, all right.
guy. He doubled down.
This guy did kind of cook, though. Like, a lot of what he was saying made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, man. He took his opportunities where he could get them, and he made sure to utilize them.
The comic books thrown into a blender, I think, was particularly a good point, because that literally is what this movie feels like a lot of the time.
Very astute, but it's also thrown together in some like weird sentence structure for the rest of that. It was like what? When he's like, just connect the parts in a more or less coherent way would be a notable task. It's like,
Yeah. All right, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That
sir,
doesn't make sense. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
yeah, so that sentence hurts. Hurts a lot. And instead of trying to figure it out, we'll move instead to our 10-star person. And I got our 10-star reviewer here. And they write, now I agree that the plot was a little weak, but people have been crying about CGI overkill, and that is a false statement here. This film has some of the best CGI ever. CGI really isn't killed, unless you know this wasn't Star Wars, but it was certainly convincing. After seeing this film, I
Was
told a
it?
friend that all the background was CGI, and he was shocked. Shocked, I tell you. The water, the mountains, the buildings, the streets, the cars, and all backgrounds are simply outstanding. This film also has its fair share of great moments, too. Fun action, good gags. There's a certain bed scene that you need to see to be believed. Packed with homages, I noted several to Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and 1930s serials. Truly a treat for serial fans. I am eager to see what Kerry Conran's next film is. Well, I got bad news for you, buddy.
Yeah. There ain't gonna be a next film, dude.
Yeah, they never let him touch anything ever again. The definition of a one and done. Also had some very odd sentence structure in it. People just don't like, God, the death of just understanding how to write coherently has just been like a marvel to watch on the internet.
Well, I think it's kind of like that. Like a lot of people just never knew how to do it. You know what I mean? Like
Also,
I
also
think
true.
that, like
Also true.
I think you might be overestimating how many people used to be able to do it back in the day. You know, like
You're right.
um,
I'm giving people way too much credit.
yeah, right, right.
I don't know what I'm doing there.
I think what I've learned in watching Mr. 3000 and Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow in back-to-back weeks is like, maybe I remember some things like fondly because they're worth remembering, and then I just like forget about all the stuff that was just as bad as all the movies they're making today. You know?
Yeah, that is true. Some stuff falls through the cracks for a reason, people. And I guess now it's good to turn our attention to our thoughts, Jim. So let's hear some ones. You've kind of wore it on the sleeve. I kind of got a feeling where you're heading here. So
Yeah,
let's hear it.
this movie stinks. Like everything about it stinks. Like I can't think of a single thing I like about it. I mean, like from the aesthetics, maybe they looked better back then. You know what I mean? Maybe the CGI was better back then. And I'm just like spoiled by like a few decades of advancements in this. but it all looks so horrible. It's all like this weird, like uncanny valley feeling, like to the point where it almost makes me feel queasy. Like that's the first thing, right? And I'm kind of interested to see what you think about that.
And no, I think the aesthetic does nothing for me watching it in this one because especially like it's also like a tale of two halves in the aesthetic as well because like in the first half it really does feel like I'm just like watching like a black and white like comic strip. And like I just don't want that in my movies. Like I don't want that transposed. It doesn't look good. It never like feels right. And I never feel or get any sense that anyone in this movie is actually interacting with a world that I'm trying to like invest in. And then later on in the movie, when it switches up and we try to go to like more far off places in like Tibet and Nepal and Shangri-La and everything, it just gives this glossy, like kind of like overexposure light behind it to try and make it seem like it's in like this vast new, like different spot. And that looks even worse.
Right. Yes, exactly. I can't like there's no it barely works now to do a whole environment like that CGI, like where I'm like, "Oh yeah, that was the right decision." You know what I mean? Like there's no way it was going to work in 2004, right? Like you were so much better off spending money to actually go film this somewhere that looked like a jungle or something than like doing what you did, right? Like it would look a million times better if you did that. You know what I mean?
I think that would go much further for me too if you were like just trying to practically create an alternate 19 like 30s New York and then like create your fantastical like Shangri-La and other stuff because like it would just feel more lived in because like this it's just like you're watching it and it's just like I'm just watching like things happen and I don't buy for a second that anyone is actually like tangibly involved within this world. Like none of
Yeah,
this feels at all like a semblance of reality. And even
right.
when you're
Like
like
to
trying
the
to buy into a fantasy, because it's like it's technically supposed to be like kind of like almost like a fantasy world, like I buy into Lord of the Rings as a much more lived in actual reality universe than anything that happens in this movie. And it's because they filmed in actual, tangible, real world spots and
right,
to build the
right.
fantasy around.
It looks like how our eyes expect things to look, which makes it feel more real, you know? And like I guess like the way I would describe it kind of in like one sentence maybe is like do you remember like on Whose Line Is It Anyway when like sometimes they would do like they would put them in front of a green screen and like they'd have to do like news reports and they would just like play like video behind them kind of it like and make it supposed to make it look like they were there.
Yes.
That's how this movie looks the whole movie. It looks so cheap. Like it looks so like so not good, you know? And so there's that. There's the CGI aspect of it. And then the next thing is the 30s aesthetic. I hate it so much. Like the whole like it's the 30s, but also we've invented ray guns. Like but none of the technology that went into ray guns went into making planes any better. Those still have propellers, but like like
Still have
it's this
biplane.
weird.
It's the weird like retro future.
Yes, right. Which I like. There's some things that do that that I like. Like I'm a big fan of like the Fallout games, and I haven't watched the show at all. And this is maybe like a bit of a nitpick, but it just feels like a way to be like, man, wouldn't it be cool if Jude Law was like wearing like a 30s flyboy jacket? Like it's like not really. No, not really. Like what's so cool about that? Like why should I care so much about the look of the 1930s? You know what I mean? Like
I think it goes to show also like when you're looking at something like this that it's not like this is a movie to me that encapsulates everything when we talk about this is why you should not let fanboys dictate discourse and how a movie should go because this is a
uh-huh.
movie that just reads like it was made by a dude who loves 1930s serials and was just like I just want to
Yep.
make that but with future tech but like just wants to take the stuff that he thinks is cool without understanding the semblance of like how story structure should work. And this movie just comes off reading like it. I feel the sincerity. Like I feel that the guy who made this like loves this and cares about it, and like I can at least respect the idea of giving a dude like the ability to go and make the movie he wants to make. But on the other hand of that, like you better understand some semblance of filmmaking, man, because this movie just reads like a fanboy's wet dream fan fiction of like a thing that he likes. It doesn't feel like anything taken to do anything kind of original, because a lot of those like reviews that we looked at and everything, like it's exactly like what they say. This is just this dude taking a whole bunch of other stuff that he liked in other movies and comic books and just putting it into a blender and shitting this movie out.
Yeah. Yes. That was the one part of that review that was really cooking to me, where it does feel like that, where they're just like, yeah, there's like giant robots, and then there's like propeller planes, and like there's an evil scientist. Like it feels a lot like you just threw a bunch of shit in a blender and this movie came out.
It
The
even
way I
takes
would
like dialogue from other movies too. Like at the end when he's like, "Why won't you die?" It's like, come on, like you just
Yeah,
like,
right. Which just so terrible.
yeah.
Like, don't even get me started on the end just yet. Like, we'll talk about that here in a minute. But the way I would put it is like this feels and looks like a bad episode of Doctor Who, but like the like first couple of seasons of Doctor Who when it didn't really have like a big budget quite yet and everything looked really like kind of like um I don't know, like weird looking and like kind of cheap. But that also in Doctor Who, that kind of becomes part of the charm of the show. And you have like, you have like David Tennant being like the really charming main character. So like really the way this movie feels is like it's like an episode of Doctor Who, but without anybody nearly as interesting or charismatic as any of the characters in Doctor Who. You know what I mean? Like
I would have to take your word for that because I don't think I've ever seen a single frame of Doctor
oh, dude, you should watch the earlier
Who.
seasons of Doctor Who. Like everything with
Never.
David Tennant in it is fucking awesome. It's really good. Outside of like Doctor Who has some questionable relationships with some very young girls. I'll say that.
Uh,
like
Following in Dr.
Doctor,
Jones's footsteps.
yeah. In theory, Doctor Who is like like I don't know, hundreds of years old at least, and like he's
Yeah.
spending a lot of time with like 18-year-old girls who are working retail in
Dude,
London. Like it's
I
like it's
I keep
very
saying
concerning.
I keep saying that exact thing in Buffy right now because it's just like Angel and Buffy are dating, and it's like, dude, this guy's a pedophile. Like,
Right.
this guy's a pedophile. It's like
Right.
200 something years old. He's dating a 17-year-old. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, the only thing in Doctor Who, there's a lot more like will they, won't they kind of stuff going on, but at the same time, the whole time I'm like, but they really shouldn't. Like,
It's like I think it should
like I
very
don't
much
know.
be. I think it should very much be. Won't they? They should not.
Yeah,
Won't.
but like, but like, there's a lot of things in this movie that remind me of Doctor Who. Like those giant robots like marching down the streets of New York City feels like for me it's like pulled right out of a Doctor Who episode. And
Yeah.
like I know this came first too, like for the newer episodes with David Tennant that I'm talking about. Um, but like that feels like something pulled right out of a Doctor Who episode. But then instead of like the quirky doctor showing up and like, having like a fun adventure, it's just like now it's just gonna be boring for 90 more minutes. You know what I
The
mean?
Ace
Like,
Crackerjack pilot,
yeah,
Sky Captain,
yeah.
who
Uh-huh.
has some of the most like. And that's another thing is like you can tell like this movie needed an actual screenwriter and not
Yeah.
just him making this movie because like the dialogue is so just like not subtle, just on the nose. There's just no freaking like subtext within it. It's just brutal.
Yeah, the dialogue's bad, and I mean it's not done any favors by the fact that like this movie's not about anything. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing like in terms of like anything actually going on with the characters as human beings that's like remotely interesting or relatable.
The
It's
biggest
just like
emotional arc in it is just the like, are they gonna fall in love again by the end of it? But they don't even sprinkle any breadcrumbs or like actual like conflict with that throughout the movie to get them to that point. It's just like surface level stuff as we go through the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's
Yeah.
also insane that they get together by the end of this movie because he knocks her the fuck out cold at one point in this movie,
Yeah,
which
that
is
was
like,
pretty crazy.
yeah,
Couldn't believe that
dude,
happened, actually. I was
when
like,
he
oh
just
my
goes,
God.
I just hope it was long enough for you to forgive me. Forgive me for what? And then he just sucker punches her
Yeah,
out cold.
did not see that coming. Like,
And then it doesn't even work. Like literally a scene later, she shows back up and then she punches him. And it's like,
yeah,
what was the point of that?
right. Well, I mean, I
It's
get
just
it. Like, it
violent
gives her some
assault.
agency anyway, but like, you probably didn't need to like punch her to knock her out. It was pretty graphic, honestly.
Dude,
Like,
like that came out of nowhere and I died laughing. Not because that is funny, but just because it's so out of control, out of left field that I was just like flabbergasted that that was put on screen.
right. It's so crazy that somebody like wrote that down, and then like a bunch of people were like, "Yep, let's film it.
Yeah.
Let's put it in the movie." Yeah.
And they convinced Jude Law that this was a good scene for your character in the movie, is to then knock this woman out cold.
Right, Jude Law's agent with a almost insurmountable.
Jude Law's
By
probably
the
happy
way,
because he was probably so happy when nobody came to see that movie. And he's like, thank God no one's going to talk about the fact that I knocked Gwyneth Paltrow out in this movie.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm the
absolutely,
hero.
right. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's so bad, and like it's like maybe the best example we've done yet, and like there's probably a couple that would be in the running, but it's a really good example at the very least of like a movie that's just like and then this happens and then this happens and then they go to the scientist lab and then there's a assassin there, you know what I mean? Like it all feels like just like not even like plot beats in the same way Mr. 3000 was, where they feel like they're supposed to happen at certain parts. It was literally just like, I know that the end of this movie is gonna have a big Noah's Ark rocket and that they're gonna have to stop that. And now like in the beginning there's giant robots attacking New York. So what dumb things can I make them go do for the next 90 minutes between those two things? You know what I mean? And it's like it's all like you said, it's all like out of like a stupid comic book. Like Sky Captain has like some weird military base that's like somewhere, I don't even know where it is. Like it's like kind of near New York, but he's like also like an independent like mercenary group with like his own thing. And like I like then he like there's like this weird like 1930s like noir kind of investigation going on for a little while, and then it turns into like a cut rate Indiana Jones for a little while. Like there's almost like not even continuity to like what kind of movie I'm watching, right? And like all of the action, like I said, is very front loaded. Like like the first couple of dogfights are pretty cool, and like the robots attacking New York, not bad, like not a bad way to start the movie. But after they like blow up his whole like military base, realistically, what happens for the rest of the movie besides him and Gwyneth Paltrow like walking around? You know what I mean? Like
And at that
there's
point,
like
he's like, we got
no
to,
action after
yeah.
that.
He's like, we got to slow down and do the mystery of it all now.
Right, but there's no mystery.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about what the scientist was doing at all, actually. Like I'm not invested in it whatsoever. Because for one thing, he's never on screen. You know what I mean? Like for another thing, the investigation they're doing, like it's not like you said, it's not breadcrumbing me anywhere. It's just like kind of obvious that there's a scientist doing something bad somewhere, and I almost don't even care what it is. You know what I mean? Like
Sidelining Angelina Jolie to like this just random little bit part doesn't do any favors because like if you really want to explore and get to the point where like him and Gwyneth Paltrow are going to get back together by the end of this, like you should have Angelina Jolie in there as like a love triangle foil throughout like the majority of this movie. Like it's absurd to me that we're going to get Angelina Jolie and we're just going to show up as she's just like an old friend to help for the dog fights, but then like she's just going to disappear after 2 minutes and then we're just not going to see her again for the rest of the movie. Like then we're going to show up and we're going to hang out with Giovanni Ribisi, who's added
yeah.
nothing to this entire movie.
Yeah, well, and I wonder, you know, if there was more scenes with Angelina Jolie at any point, because like I don't think so, probably not, because I also feel like, between Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow and like Gwyneth Paltrow is a pretty big name back then. Jude Law probably less so out of the three of them, I feel like. But like Angelina Jolie's like she's demanding the cashish, you know what I mean? Like you like I don't know that you can afford to put Angelina Jolie. You're already spending 70 million to make this movie that looks terrible, you know what I mean? Like can we really shell out another like $10 million for Angelina Jolie to be in this for 45 minutes?
It's like, no, but then you shouldn't have got her.
Well, no, I mean, if this movie had any chance of making any money, they needed some star power, baby.
Oh
Like,
no, they do need
needed,
star. They you do need star power, but
put her in it for 5 minutes just so you could put her on the poster. You know what I'm saying?
but at
Like,
what point is that sacrifice of getting star power in there for butts in the seats like is a bad trade-off because now you're sacrificing like actually making some semblance of a plot that could string us along here and get us invested in this movie.
yeah, I will say Angelina Jolie is not the problem with the plot. Like, not even
No,
close.
absolutely not. No, the problem with the plot is that it's exactly like you said. It's all just a bunch of contrivances. It's just and then. There's no roadblock struggles that force him to contextualize as a person or reevaluate. There's no arc for him to go through that makes him any different by the end of this movie. There's no arc that Gwyneth Paltrow goes through that makes her any different by the end of this movie to make us feel like we went on a journey with them and they're going to be better people after this. It's just a movie that happens because this is just a dude who liked movies like this and thought he could do one.
Yeah, and like, I tend to agree with you that that is like the thing that any story really needs. I will say that like you can make a movie without that stuff that's like enjoyable for me to watch, and I'm at least still like remotely invested in the outcome of the and then and then and then. You know what I mean? Like this movie didn't even get close to that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. I mean, there's worlds where you can make it at least somewhat watchable by leaving those out. But the movies that tend to have the biggest impact and are the ones that don't fall through the cracks are the ones that are able to make this big spectacle action adventure while also having a thematic underbelly that is the real thing. Like you come for the spectacle, but it's the thematic underbelly that leaves you remembering the movie after you've left the theater.
yeah, and I guess the spectacle part specifically that you're talking about, like that's probably what I mean when I say I'm spoiled a bit by movies in 2025. Because like what I will say is like when they make an action movie in 2025, there's gonna be some sick set pieces in it. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be some sick like 10 to 15 minute sequences where a lot of crazy shit's happening, like visually. You know what I mean? And like that's probably easier to do now and like they're more able to do it in the way that they do it because people like took a chance on movies like Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, you know what I mean? But like I feel like I'm definitely spoiled by like how consistently good like those parts of movies are. Like to the point where like a lot of movies these days like that don't have that like real story underpinning them, they do those action sequences so well and so consistently that at this point I'm kind of just like, all right, I'm tired of like the big awesome action sequences. You know what I mean? Like you really need to do it like more interesting now than you could have 5 years ago. Um, and this movie doesn't even do it even remotely as interesting as the movies did. Like you know what I mean? Like it's lacking, I guess, compared to a modern action blockbuster in terms of action, which is maybe my biggest gripe for the action part of it.
No, no, I absolutely agree with everything you're saying there. It's there's really nothing to get a beat on at any point in this movie that brings me any type of like emotional resonance or cathartic like release. It's literally just like I'm just watching things happen. Like and there's never like a moment where I'm just like, oh yeah, like I like that. Like it's just like, well, that was a choice. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. What's the next crazy thing you're gonna do? Oh, you're gonna punch a woman? Okay, all right, yeah. What's all right? Let's go. Let's keep this party going.
Yeah. And then I don't know. Outside of that, I feel like I don't really have a lot more to say about Sky Captain.
No, it's definitely a colossal misfire. That it blows my mind that we see 71% from the critics, because just doesn't do it. It is a huge disappointment.
Hmm.
Yeah, I will say definitely one of the bigger fever dream movies that we've had to watch on here. So it was a wild ride in the sense that I was just like couldn't believe the majority of what I was actually seeing on screen. It was one of those movies that like every time something happened, I wasn't like, oh, what's gonna happen next? It was always, I can't believe this is a real movie.
Yeah.
And that's never like the thought that you want like your audience to be thinking is like, I can't believe this is a movie that was actually made.
Yeah, I guess. I usually though, if I'm thinking that, it usually means I'm having a good time watching a movie. And like I don't know that I could say I was ever having a good time watching Sky Captain.
And I get that could go either way. I mean, there's been times where I've thought that and have been having a good time, and there's also times where I thought that where it just makes me like mad that a movie exists. I think this one probably for me at least, it's a little bit in the like right in the middle between those things. There's like many moments where I'm watching it and I'm like, this is making me mad that this exists as a property, and then there's a couple of moments where I watch where I'm just like laughing, like I can't believe this is a movie, like in moments that are just like so hilariously ridiculous to me. So I think it's a little bit of both, at least for this one, for me.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, and I don't know that I have too much else to say either. I don't even know where else you could possibly go with a movie like this. I don't know what comps we could possibly try and this or that it to.
Oh, I have a few ideas here.
Oh, all right, all right.
So,
Let's hear them.
I
I'm
don't
excited.
know. This is a hard one to pull up just like a list for, so this might be a fun game for us to try and play here.
Okay.
Where like I'm trying to think of exactly how to phrase this because there's like a couple of movies that come to mind that I really want to talk about. One of them actually starring Jude Law, by the way.
Oh boy. Okay.
Um, but like there's a thing, and I'm not saying that Sky Captain necessarily is like a cult classic sci-fi movie, but there's some movies that like people hail as like absolute sci-fi classics that like I have watched and I've been like, this movie is so fucking bad. like what is anybody talking about?
Wait,
So I
has
think I want to
Sky Captain entered a like cult like lexicon? Do people consider this movie a cult classic?
I no, I don't think so. I think honestly in 2025 we might be the only people considering this movie at all, you know?
Okay.
Um but like it's follow my train of thought here. And
That's
so like I was like thinking we'll do Jude Law because I remember he's in this other movie. Have you ever seen the movie Existenz?
never even heard of that movie.
Okay, so it's like a culty, like sci-fi kind of movie. Like there's like a following around it. It had a lot of play on like movie channels back in the day,
Okay.
and like a lot of people say it's a good movie. It's like this weird like game they make that you like actually like plug into your body, and it's like a virtual reality game. And it's basically like a spy thriller that takes place in this virtual reality game. And it's like a cut rate like Total Recall, like where you never know like what's real or not. Really terrible. So like I was gonna you've never seen it though, so I can't really do this or that for that one. Um Here's where I think this is interesting because like my next thought then was like, do you think this is better than some of those sci-fi movies? One of them I know that we watched together.
Yep.
What was that movie called where like it was like something like with a city or like Dark Planet or something like where the guy's like
Oh,
in that weird like city?
Dark City?
Dark City, that's what it's called. Yeah. So would you take Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow or Dark City?
Dark City. That yeah, absolutely. That movie actually like finds a way to do like an interesting film noir sci-fi. And whether I enjoy that movie or not, it's a completely other story because I don't even think I really enjoyed that movie that much either. But I would still easily give the nod to Dark City.
That's fair. Okay. That works. So then let me see, like, I'm gonna try and do some other sci-fi movies here. And like you said, this is a hard one to like find like comps for.
Well, if you're trying to find a
But
comp in the sense that it's like retro futuristic,
that's a good idea.
would you consider Kevin Costner's The Postman to fall into this category?
No, because It's not Kevin Costner's The Postman isn't retro futuristic. It's post apocalyptic. That's
Yeah, but
different.
it's trying to bring back the mail, Jim.
Yeah, no, but right. But it's not like it's not like trying to bring back the mail with like, by like teleporting it to people's houses. Like a guy on a horse has still got to deliver it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's much more grounded and like much more like technology advanced the same way it advanced and then everything collapsed and like like it
I
wasn't
just,
like
I
so
just
like
needed,
everything collapsed but in this universe they invented the airplane in 1825 like
I just
it's
needed
like
an excuse to bring up the postman once again.
yeah. Why? I don't know. Just because I want to have ray guns and 1930s flyboy jackets in the same movie? That's the only reason I need, isn't it?
Genius, genius, genius.
So no, I don't think that would count really. But I would take the Postman, like, and it's not even close. Like I would watch the Postman 1,000 times in a row before I watch Sky Captain again.
Any day of the week. All
This
right,
is like not.
it's what? It's early 2000s London, but now there's dragons. Rain of Fire.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. You're getting it. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little closer, I think. Um, and I think it's obviously Rain of Fire. Like I can't
Absolutely.
imagine that
I mean,
there's any
listen,
other answer.
one movie has Matthew McConaughey jumping at a dragon with an axe. Like, come on, that movie's clearly winning.
Um, I feel like bad sci-fi movies is where my head is at. So
Okay.
do you take Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow or
There you go.
Donnie Darko?
Oh my God. I would take Donnie Darko,
I think I would take Donnie Darko
but
too.
I don't particularly like that movie.
No, it's so bad. It's like in the Garden State category of movies where like when it first came out, people were like, "Whoa, this movie's crazy," and then like you watch it again and you're like, "Wait, this movie actually kind of sucks." Like, what is it even about? Like,
Yeah. I would still give the nod to Donnie Darko. It's not my boy Jake.
agreed.
Got the
Uh,
big dog.
would you take? Hold on. I had another like spacey kind of one here.
Did you? All right,
Okay.
let's hear it.
I'm just going with bad sci-fi. If you have any better comps that you think you have, let me know. But would you
Mhm.
take Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow or Ad Astra?
Astra, easy. That movie's
I know,
not
but
that
this
bad.
is like
That's an easy one.
I feel like I'm doing something here where I'm trying to find like the worst sci-fi movies I can think of so that you can be like, no, okay, Sky Captain does beat that one, but so far we're 0 for the century. Like we haven't
Okay.
found a single one where we're like, yeah, okay, Sky Captain's better than that. Yeah. Okay. Do you take
2003's Paul Walker vehicle timeline.
Oh no. Dude, that's a good one. Damn. Oh no.
Took on that one, boy.
I don't know that I could take Timeline. I haven't seen that in so long, but I remember it being like not good at all.
It's got Gerard
Huh.
Butler.
I don't know. I think
I would still
that
take timeline, but
I'm gonna
I
tentatively take Timeline. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But
think
on
those
the
two are probably very close.
right on the condition that I would need to watch it again before I really like committed to anything.
Oh yeah. All right. Did you ever see the 1998 Kurt Russell space vehicle simply titled Soldier?
Yes, I would take Soldier like easily.
I would also take Soldier.
All right. I think I got one here. This I doubt you've seen, and the only reason I ever saw it was because it was a Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode on when they did like that newer season on Netflix.
Okay.
Would you take well, I guess let me ask, have you ever seen the movie Mac and Me?
No, but I know the movie you're talking about. Simply thanks to Paul Rudd.
Yeah, it's like that like terrible ET ripoff.
Yeah.
I think I would still take Mac and Me. I would watch the Mystery Science 3000 version of that, like,
Uh,
rather than Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, for sure.
that's fair. God, all this is just bringing up all just like random direct to DVD movies. Like these
Yeah,
do.
that's why it's hard to Google, because it's like you can't just be like bad sci-fi movies, because then
Yeah,
it'll give you like stuff you've never even heard of. You know what I mean?
yeah, these do not help me.
All right, I'm curious. I'm mostly just trying to get a sense of what you think about this movie. Do you take Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow or Predator 2?
Yeah, easy Predator 2, man. That
Dude,
movie, that movie is not that bad, and I think it deserves like a reevaluation from the people because that movie is way better than it has any right being.
dude, I swear, like if you were like a teenager in the 80s, everybody around that age that I've talked to says they love Predator 2, and I just don't get it. Like I might need to just watch it again, but I remember watching like the first like 45 minutes and being like, this is so horrible. Like it's
Yeah,
so bad.
I think it needs a reevaluation from you there, Jim, because it's I won't say it's like the best movie ever, but it's pretty goddamn entertaining. I think it falls into that category like you were talking about, where a movie doesn't need that like cathartic arc, but can still be like spectacle and fun. And that's a
Okay.
movie that absolutely falls into that camp.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah. Like it's just like it's like early 90s LA, like in the aftermath of like the Rodney King like fallout, and now just like what's his name? Danny Glover is just like fighting the Predator like in LA. It's just like, yeah, great.
Dude,
Let's do it.
but it's not like real life LA. Like if I remember correctly, it's like LA like never stopped being like a riot zone. Like it's like really bad. Like the police are like overrun. It's like almost like how RoboCop is in Detroit in the first RoboCop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's absurd. Bill Paxton's in it, man. Like, come on, what more do you need? Gary Busey's fucking insane, as always.
And then I think I'm kind of running out of movies here.
Yeah,
I don't know that I can
I don't
think
have
of
many that could even be like comparative to that close enough. That's not just us like running the gamut on like just shitty sci-fi movies.
Yeah, I think we've found enough bad ones where we've like really established how bad we think
My
Sky
captain
Captain and the
is.
World of Tomorrow is.
Yeah.
Maybe one more here though. Would you take Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow or John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars?
Another terrible movie. I think I'd still take Ghost of Mars.
Yeah, I would take Ghosts of Mars. That's a terrible movie that I really enjoy. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
it understands what kind of movie it is. Like it sets it up, and then like 20 minutes in, they're like, "This isn't a movie anymore. We're just gonna shoot these guys," and like they do that for like another 45 minutes, and then it's over. You know?
Oh, that movie is way more entertaining. So I would agree on that front. Ghost of Mars, easy win. And I think with that, Jim, now I think there's nowhere else to go but turn our attention over to our star ratings.
Wait, hold on, one more. What was
Yeah.
that? What
What?
was that Guy
Let's hear
Pearce
it.
movie that was just like a ripoff of Escape from New York?
Oh, what was
Like
it?
Lockdown or something?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember what the name is. I never saw it, but I know the one you're talking about. Even though I've never seen it, I'll still go with that one.
Or what was that? What was that Paul Walker parkour movie? Brick Mansions.
All right. You're getting too deep into the weeds now. We gotta pull them back, people.
Yeah.
That's it. Get the fishing net. We gotta pull him out.
Yeah, all right. I'm done. I'm done.
He's too deep. Jim, if any week is deserving of it, I'm ready for your Raj cue.
This is the most unpleasant movie to look at that I can remember. Gene, I sat there appalled. They put almost nothing on the screen.
Nothing on the screen that did. Jim, do you think Raj would have wanted that drop?
No, I mean, this has become kind of a running theme here where like Raj like he's definitely gonna say something like the visual effects were like stunning or something like that, and give it like 3 stars. Like that's how I feel like this is about to go.
Raj was must have been high on something that week because Raj gave this a perfect 4 out of 4.
Dude,
And
bananas.
he wrote, "It's heedless energy and joy. It reminded me of how I felt the first time I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark."
Dude, bananas. There's no way.
Like,
Like,
has to be one of the most unhinged reviews I've ever seen. Like that's your comp, bro. Like I bet the guy who made this movie loved Raiders of the Lost Ark and made a horrible facsimile of it, but
right, right. He loved Raiders of the Lost Ark. He just didn't realize that the leather jacket isn't what made it good.
yeah,
Like, he was like, "We'll just put Jude Law in this jacket. What could go wrong? What else do we need?" You know,
he's
and
like,
it's like apparently a lot, man.
yeah, it's like I don't know, man. Maybe like a script and also like
That's so insane to invoke the name Raiders of the Lost Ark in a 4-star review of Sky Captain. I you know what? I have been sticking with Raj through some questionable ones, but
eh,
Raj is on notice as far as I'm concerned.
yeah.
I'm not taking him seriously until further notice.
It's like Raj, we're officially putting you on double secret probation because that's just not going to cut it on this
Yeah.
front.
I mean, the Passion of the Christ one was bad, but like I could at least rationalize it. I can't rationalize comparing this movie to Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's just I can't do it. I refuse.
It is confounding, and we just won't stand for it here, Raj. So we're putting you in a timeout. All right, Jim. Let's hear your final thought, final rating. Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's like I feel
Okay.
like saying one is like a really like I feel like almost about ones like I do about tens, where it's like I don't want to give them out too often, but like I gotta give it a one, like I got to.
That's look, if you feel you got to do it, do it. I'm not stopping you. I'm not holding you down.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing. It's a one, dude.
All right.
One
It's a
locked in.
one from you. That's fair. I'm gonna go just above that, and I'm gonna give it a twoer. I think back to some of the other like oneers that we've really suffered through, and I don't know if it quite hits that like turge of the bottom. But it's as close to getting there without getting there. I don't decry your 1 star rating at all. So with a 2 from me and a 1 from you, gonna give us an overall score of a 3 here. And I don't see it fighting too many battles in the threes here, but let's see what we got. Do you take Sky Captain Jim, or do you take Garfield: the movie?
Garfield the movie.
Yeah, I would also take Garfield the movie. Uh,
And like I would hesitate not even for a split second.
No, no, easy win there. Garfield actually, goes down way quicker than that. Much shorter watch, right? Wasn't Garfield only like 80 something minutes? Like all day Garfield.
Yeah, like
Uh
80 something.
yeah, we have 2 other 3 stars, but it's not sniffing near either of these. Do you take Sky Captain, or do you take The Day After Tomorrow?
Oh, that's
Oh,
tough.
all right, guy, come on.
Yeah. I really hated The Day After Tomorrow, but it's still better than this. Yeah, it's still better than this.
Yeah, and then finally sitting at the king of the threes, Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow, Jim, or Van Helsing.
Van Helsing.
Yeah, I would also take Van Helsing. So far the threes are falling lockstep in just as they should. So Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow is going to settle in the number 78 spot in our list, sandwiched in between the Garfield movie and Eight Crazy Nights. And what a spot to be in. Now,
Yeah.
Jim, the big question is we're finally out of this huge 3-year weekend that we did here, and we're on now to the next weekend. And the question is, what is the movie that we do for next weekend? Do we do multiple movies from this weekend, or do we think one movie is fine? I think there are 3, maybe 4 if you're really trying to party here, but I don't know that we need to do all
Openings?
all of these. Yeah, yeah. Well, there's actually 5 movies that come out this weekend this next weekend. I've only seen four of them. I've never even heard of this fifth one. And I don't think anyone else has either. So I think that one's immediately dropped from the list. It's a movie called The Last Shot. So that's out. I don't think that one's in contention. Nobody's ever seen this movie. But so the four movies that come out this weekend: First Daughter,
Yeah.
The Forgotten.
The Forgotten we have to do at some point. I'm not saying next week, but The Forgotten's a must. Yeah.
Okay, so the
If we're
Forgotten from
going
this
through
week.
early 2000s cinema, we cannot skip The Forgotten. It's like
Okay, all right. So First Daughter's out. We don't need First Daughter. Forgotten's on the board. We said The Last Shot is out. Now this movie, I only bring up because it was an awards contender movie, so possible we want to throw it in here. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, The Motorcycle Diaries.
I feel like I vaguely know what it's about. Isn't that the one about like
It recounts the 1952 expedition, initially by motorcycle, across South America by Guevara and Granado, observing the life of the impoverished indigenous peasantry. Man, if that doesn't get you going, I don't know what will. It's based on Che Guevara's 1995 memoir of the same name.
right, that's what I was thinking. That was the Che Guevara movie. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I would be down to watch it. Yeah, I would be
Nominated,
down to
yeah,
do that one.
I mean, nominated at the 77th Academy Awards, so it might actually be a good movie thrown into contention. Not necessarily saying that, just because you got nominated for awards makes you a good movie, but
Yeah, I mean, you never know with those commies in Hollywood, am I right? This
Heyo.
is before they had John Voight running things, so who
Yes.
knows back then? Like,
Yeah. Okay, so we could put that one on the board. I would also do that one and watch that one.
I think
And
it would be worth a watch, and like if it is actually quality, it'd be a nice like change of pace.
to talk about. Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, so we'll throw that one on the board also for this weekend. And then if any movie out of these ones is a sure bet that we're absolutely doing, it is this movie, which is the movie from this weekend that we saw in theaters, which is Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. So then I have a bit of a curveball here for you.
Okay, hit me with your curveball.
So all the way down here, opening 69th.
All right, I'm already done with you.
No, I swear, dude. Hear me out. So it's a film that I'm guessing this is like its US release. And another really big Best Picture winner actually is kind of like based on this movie. Like I believe it's an adaptation of this movie.
You say the
All
fucking
the way.
room, I swear to God.
No, 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 no,
Okay,
no, no,
okay,
no, no,
okay, okay.
no. Like this movie won Best Picture. That like that it is it's the a Best Picture winner is an adaptation of this movie. In 69th, opening 69th, again, pretty sure this is a US debut, Infernal Affairs.
Okay, okay. The movie that would inspire The Departed.
Right, like The Departed is like I'm pretty sure it's like a pretty straight adaptation of this movie. Like,
Okay.
I know there's like a lot of like Americanizations in the Departed version, right? But
Yeah, I guess it's weird because it shows here it was. Well, I guess yeah. I guess I don't know how long it took to come to the U.S. because this is a 2002 movie.
yeah, I mean I'm looking at it on Box Office Mojo right now. Its release date in the US was September 24th, 2004. And it only opened on five screens, and it never got above five screens in its very short run. But I mean, I don't know. It feels like a cheap way for us to watch Infernal Affairs, which would be pretty cool. Like we're not gonna watch any other like Hong Kong movies, right? Like
Yeah, that is
this
true.
is
Yeah, and I mean I've never seen that movie, so like it would be a pretty cool excuse then to watch it. On the docket, I'm not opposed.
yeah. I say we do it next week, honestly.
You want to make that the first one we do?
Yeah, let's work our way up the list, similar to how we did in the last one. So then, if we did Infernal Affairs next week, that means the next one after that. Wait a second. Oh
Uh,
man, we no, this isn't that next week, but we have another. I'm gonna start pulling some deep cut opening weekends here that we got to do because I just saw another one coming up that we should definitely do.
There he goes. But it wasn't from the weekend of the 24th.
No, it's from like a weekend in October.
Gotcha.
Um, but like, so we would do if we were working our way up the list, we would do Infernal Affairs, and then the movie after that would be the Motorcycle Diaries. Unless we want to revisit doing NASCAR the IMAX experience, then we can do.
Don't think I want to revisit that.
um, but yeah, Infernal Affairs, and then the Motorcycle Diaries would be the one after that, and then after that would be Shaun of the Dead.
Forgotten Beach, Shaun of the Dead? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I mean, Shaun of the Dead only opened on like 600 screens its first week, so it makes
Jeez.
sense.
Jeez. Yeah, and they weren't really as much of a hot commodity as they are today
Right.
because this was like their
That
first.
movie was kind of like off the radar. Like it became like kind of a cult classic, I think.
Yeah, that was our. Okay, yeah. All right, so I'm fine with that. All right, so we'll rock for Infernal Affairs.
What movie did you think I was gonna pick? You thought I was gonna pick The Room?
Yeah, well, because like the Disaster Artist then was a
No,
movie based, yeah, and that movie was up for like awards and everything. So like I instantly thought you were gonna say something ridiculous.
Yeah, no, we're already past The Room. I'm pretty sure The Room came out in '03.
No, when that guy died, I couldn't tell you when that came out or anything. I'm just happy that it's not that,
Yeah.
and I will gladly take any opportunity to watch some Asian cinema because that it doesn't matter where it comes from. China, Japan, Korea, like they're always like top tier. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, The Wandering Earth, I will not soon forget.
Yeah, a real classic. But all right, so we do Infernal Affairs next week. It's on the docket. Put it on the board. What was the last thing you jammed on?
I am still biding my time for season 2 of Twisted Metal.
Slowly just waiting himself out.
Yeah. So I've been kind of like keeping myself busy playing Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't been watching as much TV while I wait for Twisted Metal to build itself up. I did very briefly after after Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow ended, which I was watching on Paramount Plus.
Plug.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, maybe the worst commercial ever for Paramount Plus. If you want to go watch Sky Captain, go get Paramount Plus.
Phones are ringing off the hook as we speak.
Yeah. But Paramount Plus did this thing where it just started a different movie, like after Sky Captain was over. Like I didn't like let me pick; it just like put it on, right? And
They're like,
it
listen,
was
if this guy will watch this thing, he'll watch any piece of shit.
right, right. And it was this movie called Arena War, starring Michael Madsen.
Oh boy, you've already said all I need to know.
It was like a budget version of Running Man, basically, where it was like a show where like convicts could try and like survive to get out of prison or whatever. It looked so bad.
Amazing. Yeah, sounds horrible.
It was.
Sounds like an absolute classic right there. I actually, after our talk through in Mr. 3000, was so hyped up that I decided to go and rewatch Bull Durham.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just to watch a really good baseball movie again after that, and yeah, that movie still fucking rocks.
It's like one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah,
It's so good.
It's so great. Like Kevin Costner's great in that. Susan Sarandon is fucking electric in that movie. Like she is so goddamn horny in that movie, and it's so good. Tim Robbins great in it also. Like it's just a fantastic movie.
Yeah, but she's like an interesting character because she's not just horny. She's like horny, but she uses her horniness for good. Like
Yeah.
she's horny, but she loves baseball. And
She's,
she's like,
she's
you know what? My part in baseball, this is what it is. I can't play, but I can do this, you know?
she's using it to build the greatest baseball player the world has ever seen.
Right, right, right.
She's like, his pitch is good, but once he has some of this pussy, it's going to be even better.
Right. Yeah.
Which is like such an incredible plot.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, I'm sure there was kind of like groupies like that around like up and coming minor league baseball players. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I'm
Like
sure. Yeah, no,
it feels
absolutely.
very realistic, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think a lot too. Like, then I'm pretty sure they said like Ron Shelton like based a lot of it on like his time playing in like the minor leagues.
yeah, I believe
Yeah,
it. It feels very genuine, yeah.
yeah, no, it
And
does. Yeah,
like,
it feels very lived in.
there's something so amazing about Bull Durham where like Kevin Costner is this interesting character because it's not just about baseball, right? It's about like how you can be really, 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 really good at something, like really great at it, and it can be something that people care about. But if you're not like two or three more really as great at it, like nobody will ever know who you are. You know what I mean? Like it's
It's
like
crazy. Like it's like that finite line of success.
right, right. And it's like you're not bad at this. You're actually like better at this than like 99.9% of people who have ever done it. You know what I mean? But like you just need to be that extra 0.5% better. And like that scene when he's like, he's talking about like, the difference between hitting like 250 and 300 is like one extra like blue base hit a month. You know what I mean? And like that's the difference between you being like a major league player versus like a guy who never got out of the minors. You know what I mean? Like it's a great movie. It's a great
I know.
movie.
You know, it was incredible, and I hadn't seen it in a long time, so that was a really good one to throw back on and enjoy. So I had a lot of fun with it. But that's our recommendations for you people. As always, go out, form your own opinions for these movies. Maybe not Sky Captain. Maybe you can trust us on that one. And join us back here next week when we
Yo,
dive.
go watch Sky Captain. If I had to do it for this dumb show, you guys should have to do it too.
That's right. Jim is very much a eye for an eye guy. Like he must suffer, so you also must suffer. So
Yeah,
go out, and watch
exactly.
Sky Captain.
I'm not gonna be like I suffered so you don't have to. I'm gonna be like you go fucking suffered, man. Like,
All right, so the notice still stands. Check these movies out for yourself. Form your own opinions, and make sure you tune back with us next week when we dive into Infernal Affairs. And as always, we'll see you at the movies.